Scallop Stitch is a 16-row pattern. It is available as a free download on our website. The 16 rows of the Scallop Stitch pattern are made up of 2 sets of 8. The first 8 give you this scallop along here. Then the second 8 are the offset scallop. This is a very straightforward pattern. The only abbreviations are YF, yarn forward, YB, yarn back, and slipping stitches. When you slip stitches, they're all slipped purlwise, and when you slip them, always carry the yarn on the right side of the work. Row 1 is a purl row, row 2 is a knit row. I have just done those 2 rows. Now we start creating the pattern in row 3, and rows 3, 5 and 7 are all the same. We knit 6, yarn forward, slip 2, and we repeat. Knit 6, yarn forward, slip 2, and when you get to the end, there's another knit 6. Knit 6, yarn forward, slip 2, yarn back, knit 6. 1, 2. Now stitches 3 and 4 should be right on top of there where in the previous pattern, that's where we slipped them. So that should be 3 and 4, which it is. 5, 6. Yarn forward, because we're carrying the yarn on the right side of the work. Yarn back, knit 6. And that's all there is to rows 3, 5 and 7. Rows 4 and 6 are the same. Purl 6, yarn to the back of the work, slip 2, now it's the same 2 that we slipped before, bring the yarn forward and purl another 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. Yarn back, which is to the right side of the work, slip 2, yarn forward, purl 6 and continue on the end of the row, finishing with purl 6. After rows 3 and 4, you can see the scallop developing, where we've knitted in there, but the slipped stitches pull that 2 rows of garter stitch up. Now row 6 will be the same as row 4. Purl 6, yarn back and slip the 2, yarn forward and purl, and keep going to the end of the row. Row 7 is the last row of the slipped stitches, the drawing up of those 2 there, slip, slip. It's a purl row and it finishes that line of scallop. And here are those 2 slip stitches, and we purl those, that anchors them. So that was row 8, the end of that row of scallops. Now, row 9 to 16, we do the offset row, like this. So the gathering up stitch, the slip ones, will only be 2 stitches in instead of 6. So they'll be the slip stitches and they'll be the slipped stitches. I won't show you that because it's exactly the same as this, except for having a different number of stitches at the beginning of the row. This is where I used the scallop stitch in block R of the textured sampler blanket. I've called this stitch Scallop Stitch because they do go along like scallops, but afterwards I thought perhaps I should have called it the roof of the gingerbread house in Hansel and Gretel, because it does look like those gingerbread biscuit tiles that they usually put on gingerbread houses. Remember, the free pattern is available to download from our website. Thank you for watching and happy knitting.
Here are the steps to download Daphne's patterns and to view the videos on her YouTube channel. Send an email to knitwithdaphne@gmail.com and include the subject Free Download. There is no need for any content in the email. You will receive an automatic email reply that includes 2 links. One is a link to Daphne's YouTube channel. The other is a link to the downloadable patterns. When you click the link, the Knit with Daphne folder with all the downloadable patterns will open. Double-click on any line to open and download the pattern. Double-click on Stitch Patterns to open the folder with the individual knitting stitch patterns. Enjoy Daphne's designs and happy knitting!